More villagers coming forward. More villagers coming forward. All the villagers. Mr. Yo sacrificing his economy to get up this castle. However, welcome. This is going to be game 4 in the Legacy of the Huns semi-final matchup between Mr. Yo and Vivi. In the bottom left of the map, we have in red Mr. Yo, and in the top we have Vivi playing, of course, in blue as the Huns. If Mr. Yo wins the next game, he should be able to move on to the next round where he should, spoilers, face MBL for the title of the Legacy of the Huns champion. Vivi is going to look to win the next 2 matches. He's going to have to win the next 2 matches in order to go to the finals. Otherwise, the loser of this match will face the Viper for the bronze match. And this tournament has had so many great players in it. Every player just at such a high level. What an honor it would be to be first place in this tournament. Even second place, really, but first place, wow. You have to be really among the top of the competition to be able to do that. So first 2 games, we saw Vivi going crazy with a crazy aggressive playstyle. Second game, much more standard from him. Actually went for a Dark Age Rush fast castle, which is a little bit risky in itself. Mr. Yo playing a very standard game. He's been doing feudal rushes each of these games. We'll see the strategy on this particular map. 4 deer in the back. Gonna find all of his sheep right away. That's always nice. Very odd part of the map. In fact, where's Mr. Yo's wood? Wow, look at this left side. How barren it is. So this is his main wood this game. This is a critical area of the map for Mr. Yo. He can wall here. Okay. Can wall here. Can defend from early rushes, but I'm thinking Castle Age. Archers getting behind this wood line would be very nasty for Mr. Yo. And as well, we saw last game how important it is to get a stable wood income. That really hurt Vivi going into the later game. Wasn't able to make enough town centers. Wasn't able to make enough military to defend himself because of his wood income was so bad. Partially due to the map and partially due to Mr. Yo abusing the map with some towers and aggression. And going on to the later stage of the game, which wood will Mr. Yo move on to have a better wood income? Maybe this one over here. Very aggressive though. Already we're having a scout on scout fight. Vivi is getting his sheep, one of his sheep back, and Mr. Yo is stealing the other 2. This is going to get down very low. What you should do, you should bring the villager last second, because otherwise the scout's just going to run away. Like that. And Scout should still be alive. It's going to be very close. It needs 3 more hits to go down. And Mr. Yo is going to steal 2 sheep. So good start for Mr. Yo. He's able to get his Scout out alive, steal 2 sheep. He's even disrupted this boar lure from Vivi as his attention's been distracted. And looking at Vivi's map's not much better. It's completely barren here. He has some deer on the left side. Golden stone exposed on the front. Right side, nothing going on there. I dare to say it, but Vivi's map is even worse than Mr. Yo's. These are 2 of the worst Arabia maps I've seen in a long time. And boy. Man, Vivi's eventually, by the Castle Age, going to have to get off of this wood line and go over here, I suppose. So, since both these maps are so bad, I would expect to see a very aggressive game. This game could end in the Castle Age, maybe. Maybe even in the Feudal Age. You know, one player could have a significant advantage. Because you're going to go full on into the aggression. If you place a town center anywhere, it's not going to be gaining you resources for too long. It's just more villagers you have to worry about defending. I would go full into the aggression, full into military production, full into upgrades. And 5 HP, 9 HP. Mr. Yo somehow got back in that scout fight. I don't know how. So both players' scouts very low. Mr. Yo's even going to try to block this boar lure. 1 hit, 2 hits. Kind of a tricky situation for Vivi. He doesn't really want to attack the scout. But he's done a good enough job at distracting it. Got very close with that arrow fire. Now Vivi going to lure that boar a little bit late. And there we go. Early barracks coming up from Mr. Yo. So we see a lot of different Dark Age and Feudal Age strategies from these players. I believe this is the second time Mr. Yo is going for a Dark Age rush. And one thing we have not seen so far, we have not seen a classic Men-at-Arms rush. And that looks to be what Mr. Yo's going to do this time. We've seen the Dark Age rush twice. We used to see Men-at-Arms rushes all the time. Dark Age rush became nothing at all. And I'm glad to see that come back a little bit. And now a classic Men-at-Arms rush. So 2 on gold for Mr. Yo. Early barracks. He's going to make one as soon as he has 60 food. There we go. And it's going to come forward. The Men-at-Arms rush is one of the most aggressive strategies you can go for. If you go for a Dark Age rush, it gives you some nice flexibility. You can transition to archers. You can go for a fast castle. But it's not really as aggressive. The Men-at-Arms is just to get that upgrade. The 100 food, the 40 gold, really puts a big strain on your economy. And you want... And the Men-at-Arms in the early feudal age is so strong. So this is a very heavy investment from Mr. Yo. Looks like Vivi... Vivi's up on 23 population, so much later. Sorry, yeah, 22 villagers. Yeah, 23 population. They should have more resources to play with. Could even go with a scout build. I expect that's what he's doing. And while the tables have turned, Mr. Yo with a 4-villager Men-at-Arms forward. This is very strong. Very strong. Especially with how weak these scouts are. Gonna get 2 hits right there. Oh, that's a huge deal. I don't think Vivi's seen this. Any reaction from him? No. This is big. I said we could be seeing a very short game. Vivi could be in a lot of trouble if he does not see these villagers. How would he? Well, this is how he's going to send 5 of his own villagers forward. And that could be still very problematic, as they're going to run straight into the villagers of Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo has Men-at-Arms coming in. Stable coming up. And a tower coming up, but that tower will most likely... It might not get denied, actually. Gonna be close. And will these 2 walls get up? That wall... This wall is still not up. This villager's gonna get very low. 1 villager only building this tower. This is a very precarious situation for Vivi. Stable is up. And Vivi needs to get this tower up, but he needs to not lose any villagers. This villager's very weak. This villager's very weak. Oh, could have gotten away, but he's going to go down instead. This villager's 1 HP. Run away with that one. Oh, it's going to be close. And that villager's going to... Oh, what? The Men-at-Arms hesitated. What? So, luckily Vivi got that tower up, but might lose his own tower. This is a critical part of the game. We're only 12 minutes in. That villager's going to take 2 volleys. Going to pop in the tower. 2 scouts out already. That's nice. And will Mr. Yo get forced back here? It looks like he will. Those 3 Men-at-Arms, still great HP on them, though. And where are we left? We're left at a 1 villager advantage for Mr. Yo. KD's 3-1 for Mr. Yo. However, Vivi avoided the worst. He's got access to stone currently, although another tower could come up, and that could prevent access to stone. Vivi's got to have a hard time making scouts right now. He's very low on food. But should have enough to defend, and that's going to be a win from Vivi. If Mr. Yo can come back with all of his villagers, then perhaps can make something out of that. But back at home, no stable for him. So he's stuck onto infantry. And Vivi might even go across the whole map and start a forward of his own. He's got a good military advantage now. This is what happens when the Men-at-Arms rush doesn't work so well. You're kind of stuck. You don't have a stable, really. Mr. Yo's just getting double bid X now. It's such a huge investment. Luckily, those Men-at-Arms will be able to take out 2 more scouts. And Mr. Yo's going to come back. And this is a little risky. That villager's actually going to die. That was a bit of a misplay from Mr. Yo. We just need to be a little bit more careful with how much HP they have on their villagers. That's going to be 2 hits and down. 1 more hit. 1 more hit. There we go. Wow, that was perfect. Didn't even take a hit from the spear. So many villagers are going down. I have a hard time keeping track of who's still winning in this game. Let's check back after this fight. What in the world is going on right now? It's so messy. 1 archer out from Vivi, though. That's strong. And a skirmisher coming out as well. Man, this is so messy. It sucks for Mr. Yo, though. He's still stuck on infantry. Vivi's got 500 wood in the bank, which he has not been managing very well. Power coming up from Mr. Yo to protect the gold. First archery range coming out from Mr. Yo. And Vivi's got 2 villages left, and he's going to mine the gold. Maybe walk all the way back to his base with that gold. Villager count right now, it's 2 villager advantage for Vivi. 5 military advantage for Vivi. KD 11-7 for Vivi. So still at a good advantage. And he's got these 2 forward villages, which could be nefarious. Perhaps with a forward tower somewhere. Tower here could deny gold. That's 4 villagers. They can get up a tower pretty fast. I would go for a tower right here. Try to deny that gold. Mr. Yo is going to protect this very important part of the map with a tower. Vivi now getting horse collar. But both players' economies are hurting a little bit, as they're just trying to get as much military out as possible. And Mr. Yo trying to get up with these walls real quick. That'd be a good place for a palisade gate. You can get more HP on it, maybe. But no, that villager's going to get those walls up. And that's really good. Didn't want those archers running around. So Mr. Yo, he's got a base that looks like a base now. He's got, you know, a little bit of a wall here. Got a tower up on his main gold. He's got a tower up over here. This is a solid defense from Mr. Yo. This gold is still very exposed, though. He'll need a second tower here to perfectly defend that gold. And Vivi's going to go for that tower right there, which could be very devastating. If that tower gets up, then Mr. Yo is going to have a really hard time for gold this game. Mr. Yo going to go up with another tower. There's 3 archers here, though. Fletching is coming in. It'll be done in the next 10-15 seconds. 2 scouts from Mr. Yo. Bunch of archers. This might be barely enough. Remember, these villages are very low. At least one of them was. He's dead. And perfect defense for Mr. Yo. Might lose a little more archers than he wanted to, but he's going to get that tower up. That's the most important thing. And there we go. So 1 scout left. And that could be another 2 villagers. That will even up this game. This game might be dead even after all of this. So great defense from Mr. Yo so far. There you go. Scouts going to take out the skirmisher. Adding the scouts was an excellent decision from Mr. Yo. He added the archery range and then added the stable. And that really evens up the game. Blacksmith coming up from Mr. Yo. Villager numbers dead even. Military count dead even. So we saw Mr. Yo going forward and then being punished heavily from that. As Vivi was able to defend successfully and then push out back against the map, and Mr. Yo was able to defend against that, which then evened out the game. Turn the chat off. Now Mr. Yo pushing out across the map with scouts. How does Vivi's base look? Vivi's making scouts of his own. 2 towers coming up. Another tower coming back at home. Not a great placement of the tower. It'll help to protect the farms, though. I would... Oh, boy. It's always so hard to protect farms with towers. And as well, that tower is so far in the back, it should be over here, in my opinion. But regardless, Vivi should be able to defend sufficiently. And we'll probably see this game go up to Castle Age, I assume. Nope! Vivi... Mr. Yo setting villagers forward, regretting the decision, as he's getting pushed back now by Vivi. And Mr. Yo is just going to go back now with his villagers. And really, the scouts have been the key here. It's such an open map that scouts are able to use their mobility quite well. And who knows, maybe players will want to add a second stable for additional scout production. Nope. Second archery range being added from Mr. Yo. Back at home. If you're adding an outpost here. go back to that wood situation we talked about earlier. Vivi's wood is horrible. The saturation is terrible. You can't add any more villages to this. As you can see, the villagers are already walking around. Vivi needs to get onto another wood. Maybe this one over here, it's hard to say. But Vivi needs to make something happen. That wood is horrible. Going over to Mr. Yo. Mr. Yo's wood is okay for now. It'll be okay until Castle Age. But for that reason, I put advantage to Mr. Yo. Vivi's got to do something about his wood situation. He can't keep on that one wood. And because of that, maybe that makes Vivi play more aggressive. We'll have to see. He's gotten the Bloodlines upgrade. He's got no food in the bank right now. Mr. Yo, tons of food in the bank. I think this is why we see a difference in the strategy. Vivi's kind of got to stay aggressive so he can take another wood. He's vested into the Bloodlines upgrade. Mr. Yo's ready to click up, so Vivi needs to, again, he needs to make something happen here. And this is not going to be the fight that does it. Might even lose a lot of his scouts. And the military count's dead even. So Vivi's in a pretty poor position, in my opinion. Might have to use his market a little bit if he's got one. I don't think he does. But Vivi will be a few minutes later up into the next age. And with maps this open, I can only imagine what cavalry archers could do. Or crossbowmen could do to Vivi right now. This gold is still exposed as well. The stone on this right side is exposed. These farmers are all exposed, and of course the wood line. There we go. Vivi gonna buy 100 food. Sell 200 of his stone. And he'll be up to the next stage right now. And Mr. Yo gonna upgrade the crossbow. We'll see if he adds some knights. Guess we could check his resources. So Mr. Yo's got a lot of food in the bank. He could definitely add some knights if he wanted to. Gonna add a third archery range. Hurting a little bit on gold. He might need a few more gold miners. And Mr. Yo's gonna push out right now. He's got the 2 towers defending at home. He can push out right now. Even has a military advantage. And there we go. There's the Castle Age. We should see the upgrades coming on the top right. Balconero crossbow coming in. And Vivi's got to conserve all of his army for the time being. Added a second tower in his gold. Great decision. This is Vivi's first blacksmith, apparently. No, second blacksmith, that's right. The first one just went down over here. So that's annoying. Another tower coming up on the farms. So Vivi's investing a lot into these towers to defend himself. It's never good for your economy. Always a drain to have so much stone. And that wood is basically out. It's a different problem now. It's horrible in saturation. It's out. There's no more wood there. There's nothing left to be done about it. And this could be a GG, honestly, for Vivi. He needs to get wood somewhere else. He needs to have enough military to get up a town center somewhere else. That's what has to happen right now. You can't play this game without wood. Maybe that'll be one of the themes of this series. Got 300 wood in the bank. Getting scale barding armor. Knights, of course, don't cost wood. Siege workshops do, however. And big risk for Vivi. Going to move out across all the way to the left side of the map. These villagers are very exposed. However, Mr. Yo does not see it. And that town center should get up. So, bit of a lucky break for Vivi right there. And perhaps this is a little bit of misplay from Mr. Yo. Maybe he should know that Vivi's this low on wood. He should protect the wood lines, or attack the wood lines. But regardless, it's still going to be a tough game for Vivi, as he needs to defend that one against the raids. And no crossbow upgrade's kind of a little bit of a mistake here. It's a cheap upgrade, and there's enough crossbows to warrant it. But the chain barding is definitely probably more important here. So Mr. Yo's going to try to protect his crossbows with his cavalry archers. And Vivi wants to have enough knights to take this out before the cavalry archers come in. Mangonel's going to move slowly. That's not enough knights, I think. I think it's going to be a bad fight for Vivi, although it's hard to tell. Luckily, that tower's going to help out. Garrison in the tower. And just as they do that, out of range. And there's the Mangonel shot, mostly injuring the knights. Once again, going to injure the knights. Going to be very close. And that's just barely going to be enough to clean up those crossbows. So Vivi just barely hanging on in this game. Look at the resources. 0 wood, 0 food, 0 gold, 0 stone for Vivi. Going over to Mr. Yo, 400 food, 300 gold, 400 stone. That's a nice Mangonel shot, though. And another good shot. 3 town centers now for Mr. Yo. And even adding a double stable. When you're going cavalry archers and you add stables, that means you're going really heavy into the Castle Age. You're going to add a lot of knights. You're not going to go up to the Imperial Age anytime soon. You're not conserving resources. You're really going all out. And what can knights do? Knights can raid under the gold, raid under the stone, can raid on this left side. It might be more effective. They're definitely going to be more effective at raiding under towers than cavalry archers, raiding under a town center. And now Vivi's going to go out for a raid. He's only got this amount of knights. He kind of needs to get a little lucky in finding something good to raid. The knights don't even have +1 attack. That's kind of important when you want to raid with knights. And Yo's going to do a raid of his own. 2 Mangonels here, but there are 2 knights. Those knights could get a lot of value now, as they're going to go straight for the Mangonel. Mangonel's going to get a good shot, though. Wow. That was a lucky one. And now knights are going to go after the scorpions. I wonder if we'll see a repair on them. Knights that are basically doing no damage. So those 2 knights able to pick... Luckily that one's hiding behind the barracks. Luckily able to pick off a Mangonel and 2 scorpions. Even pick off another scorpion. Meanwhile, while Vivi's knights are over doing a little bit of raiding. Maybe able to get a villager or 2. But not a whole lot. Sio's got 2 towers here. He's going to be adding knights. And Vivi, if he doesn't pull something out of the bag, he's going to be going down to the bronze match. While Mr. Yo is going to be going on to the finals. I'd like to see something happen for Vivi. He's done such a great job so far in this tournament. Giving us so many entertaining games, but Mr. Yo is coming forward and building a castle. Where is he building this castle? Let's go over to Mr. Yo's point of view. Wow, that's an excellent castle. Anytime you build a castle on top of the hill, just casters are like, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful castle. But that's on top of the hill. It'll take out 2 towers. It'll take out a stone, a gold, thread in the wood, cut the base in half, provide a great pushing point. And military is 22-16 right now. How in the world is Vivi going to stop this? And if he doesn't stop this, how is he going to have resources? Might be enough knights. Might be. Maybe the villagers should build a tower. There we go. Castle's 35% now. This is everything. This is all in. This tower's got to get up. 3 more knights from the left. Mr. Yo bringing in more knights from the south. He's got a hill advantage. 60% on this tower, on this castle. A lot of the villagers are getting distracted though. Monks can change games. He's gonna go with the Wololos. Rest of these villagers, 75% of the tower. There's only 2 villagers building. There's only 3 villagers here, but most of the army is gone for Vivi. 1 more villager down. This tower might be enough. This might be the thing that prevents this castle from going to go up. Tower takes down the last villager. There's one more over here. Castle's on 80%. It's kind of like a doubt castle. That was so close, though. So close. On the one hand, the castle is denied. 4 more villagers coming forward. More villagers coming forward. All the villagers. Mr. Yo's sacrificing his economy to get up this castle. However, in that whole engagement, Vivi did lose all of his army, and this castle will get up eventually. Maybe should have seen 2 towers on top of this castle. That would have been better than 1. And GG right there. Mr. Yo is going to go on to the next round. What an excellent series from these two. Final score is going to be 3-1. Excellent. I would love to see these players play even more. I hope you guys really enjoyed watching these two legends of the game. And enjoyed, seeing Hun Wars can be pretty fun as well. It's been a long time since I saw the Hun Wars. They have changed a little bit, but I think they've changed for the better. These strategies were great. We saw men-at-arms rushes, we saw scout rushes, we saw other kinds of rushes. A lot of action. None of these games dragged on to Imperial Age, really. Wow, what an excellent series.